Hello and welcome to episode number 30 of WITM Season 5. It is time to start another great week of WITM action here in the road to WrestleMania. And it starts off tonight on Monday night with Raw as the man who went into the road to WrestleMania as Universal Champion, WITM's own premier talent, Dalton Roush, is Universal Champion, and we know that he will take on Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship, or defending his Universal Championship at Royal Rumble, but he still has some non-title matches before then, with a chance to gain momentum heading into a match with Brock Lesnar, where Dalton's going to need all the momentum he can possibly get to possibly defeat the Beast and walk out of Royal Rumble still Universal Champion. It's an old rival of his, the former Raw General Manager-elect, Baron Corbin, that will be his opponent tonight. Let's get that match loading up.
Don't move. We have a great match coming up next.
Taking on some tough competition.
Alright, so Dalton Roush comes into this non-title match less than 1% win percentage away from Drew Spudstrong. So, opportunity to rise up the WITM 5 rankings, move closer to first place, and defeat a rival of his and Baron Corbin. Remember, Corbin at TLC oddly aided Dalton Roush at winning the Universal Championship when he attacked Dalton's opponent and the at the time champion, Dean Ambrose, hoping Dalton to win the match. But Dalton says he is not going to settle out and try to help Corbin perhaps get his job back or be his ally. And let's get that match underway.
The Lone Wolf about to prey on Monday Night Raw.
I want to ask Baron Corbin, what makes you happy? What drives you? He told me two things. Getting under people's skin and exposing them to their worst fears.
Michigan, weighing in at 257 pounds, the WWE Universal Champion, Dalton.
Guys, is there a chance the champ is underestimating the importance of this match? I don't think so, Cole. I mean, of course the title's not on the line, but I don't think that makes the champ any less determined here tonight.
And with that, Baron Corbin is on the loose. Oh.
There's the bell. This non-title matchup between two rivals is underway. Corbin starts off by planting the head of Roush into the canvas with his knee and showing off a bit and taunting him. There's a stomp to the back. Roush up into the corner and reversal by Dalton, shoving Corbin aside. There's a running STO and a kick to send Corbin back down. Roush forces Corbin to his feet. Roush up into the corner and a punch to the back. Going for a gut punch, and Corbin reverses and simply slaps Dalton aside before hitting a clothesline. Dalton's going to head to the outside to try and recollect himself.
Ring now. Ring rattling.
There's a power slam by Dalton and a stomp to the ankle. Reversal by Corbin. Elbow strike by Dalton to reverse, and this time it's Corbin dumped on the outside via clothesline. Dalton again goes for a gut punch, and Corbin again responds by slapping Dalton across the face. Corbin taunting Dalton, not realizing he was right behind him, and that allows Dalton to get in several kicks and punches. Now Dalton forces Corbin into the corner.
The good news for him is that he doesn't appear to have taken too much offense up to this point. But
Dalton with a Ric Flair style chop with the arm of Corbin wrapped around that top rope, and now it's all Dalton here, the champion, looking strong at this time.
On the shoulders here, and it could be a long way down from there.
Corbin forced to a fireman's carry position and tossed onto that top rope. Now Dalton with some technical offense.
Now it's Baron Corbin looking
with
a
the
little
leg
uneasy.
DDT. Now goes for cover.
Easily kicks out of
and Corbin powers out at 1.5.
Like that could not keep Corbin down. He looks a bit
There's a reversal by Corbin.
Looks like he may have let his guard down there for a moment, and it cost him.
Corbin misses, somehow botches a slap and misses. Shades of Eva Marie here. Dalton taunts Corbin.
Looks to me like he took his foot off the gas.
Stomp to the arm, forces Corbin to his feet, and Dalton hits his signature maneuver, the baby rock bottom. Now forces Corbin closer to center ring. Does Dalton pick up momentum as champion?
This guy just refuses.
Not quite yet. Corbin powers out at 2, and Dalton is in shock. He thought he had himself a victory there. Corbin with a clothesline to the back, and Corbin heads to the outside. He's looking for a weapon. This is, as far as I know, not a no disqualification match, but Corbin takes out the referee. That means the chair is in play for Corbin to use until the referee comes back to his senses, which he has already. Corbin thought about going for that chair, but realized the referee was back to his feet, and of course chose not to. Dalton looking for the side of a bullet. The chair no longer in play. But Corbin took his sweet time getting up, and that was probably a good decision.
Not just to entertain the fans, but to ultimately walk away with the win.
Dalton responds by repeatedly slamming the head of Corbin into that top turnbuckle.
Oh boy, he is rolling.
Corbin evades the stomp and gets back to his feet. There's a chop to the head of Dalton, and Corbin with a choke slam into a backbreaker. Now it's Corbin looking for a finisher. He's thinking end of days.
No way.
End of days connects. Does Corbin pick up a non-title victory over Dalton Roush, the man who mocked his time as Roger or manager? He was the first to do so. No, Dalton powers out at 2.5, and now Corbin looking to play dirty. He's removed the top turnbuckle, and immediately will send Dalton careening into it. That exposed steel. Dalton somehow reverses mid-suplex and hits the reverse DDT. Now Dalton once again looking for the side of a bullet.
Knee right to the midsection.
And this time it does connect.
This might be the end of Corbin.
Does Dalton pick up momentum heading into his title defense against Lesnar in a couple of weeks? Yes, he does. Dalton puts away his rival Baron Corbin and picks up that ever-important momentum.
Here is your winner, Dalton.
That was a big pinfall victory right there.
Few things are more rewarding than that feeling of keeping your opponent's shoulders down for the 3 count.
Guys, it sounds like we can all agree that was an extremely impressive win.
Alright, so while Dalton was celebrating, I just crunched the numbers. Dalton now moves up to a record of 22-11-1. He is tied for the lead in the WITM 5 standings now with Andrew Spudstrong. Both Andrew and Dalton Roush have a win percentage of 66.6. 666. Uh-oh, maybe they don't want a WrestleMania match after all. Might be a curse. Might be a trap. Anyway, all joking aside, we now have a tie for first place between Andrew and Dalton Roush. And perhaps most importantly for Dalton, he picks up more momentum, more power rankings bonuses heading into Royal Rumble in his first title defense against Brock Lesnar.
The WWE is the gift that keeps on giving. Next, sit tight for singles action coming up next.
Alright, and let's see what else transpired on Raw prior to Dalton's matchup. We started things off with a Raw Tag Team Championship match as the Ascension successfully retained over Heath Slater and Rhino, the team that was broken up for a few weeks when Dalton's opponent tonight, Baron Corbin, fired Rhino. But now that Corbin is no longer the authority and the McMahons are in power, Rhino has been rehired and Heath Slater and Rhino are a tag team once again. But they failed to capture the Raw Tag Team Championships. The Ascension retained. Zack Ryder not getting much TV time on Raw in real life. He appeared just once on Raw in 2018. But he gets an opportunity here in WITM and defeats No Way Jose. Mickie James picked up a victory. Bobby Lashley, yet another successful title defense. He defeated the #1 contender, Dolph Ziggler, in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Corey, who gets the week off, will most likely move up into the back up into the #1 contendership, with Dolph Ziggler losing. Dalton Roush defeated Baron Corbin in our WITM match for the evening to pick up more momentum as champion. And let me write down that result real quick. More women's action as Andrew Spudstrong's girlfriend and manager and 1/3 of Team Livestrong Spudstrong defeats Natalya in a non-title matchup. And the main event, it's a triple threat match between 3 Intercontinental title contenders. Seth Rollins picks up the victory over his former friend turned rival Dean Ambrose, with Mojo Rawley getting a no decision. And how does this affect the rankings on Raw? Let's find out. We'll start off with the Raw women. Mickie James defeated Sasha Banks. James moves up to number 6. Banks falls to number 10. Bayley defeated Natalya. Bayley remains champion. Natalya falls to number 8. The Raw Women's Champion is Bayley. #1 contender Ruby Riott. Number 2 Ember Moon. Number 3 Tamina. Number 4 Ronda Rousey. Number 5 Nia Jax. Number 6 Mickie James. Number 7 Dana Brooke. Number 8 Natalya. Number 9 Sarah Logan. Number 10 Sasha Banks. Number 11 Liv Morgan. And number 12 Alicia Fox. In the Raw Tag Team division, the Ascension defeated Slater and Rhino to remain Raw Tag Team champions. Slater and Rhino fall to number 4. And the Ascension remain champions. The Ascension are Raw Tag Team Champions. Number 1 contender is the B Team. Number 2, the Authors of Pain. Number 3, the Revival. Number 4, Slater and Rhino. Number 5, Lucha House Party. Number 6, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. In the Intercontinental Championship rankings, Zack Ryder defeated No Way Jose. Ryder moves up to number 10. Jose falls to number 6. But Ambrose also lost, so Ambrose falls to number 7. And Jose falls to number 6. Bobby Lashley defeated Dolph Ziggler. Lashley remains champion, and Ziggler falls to number 2, which means Corey does become number 1 contender. Dalton Roush defeated Baron Corbin. Neither of them are in these rankings, so I'm not sure why I read that off. Seth Rollins defeats Dean Ambrose in no decision for Mojo Rawley. Rollins was up to number 2. Ambrose falls to number 8. Rawley remains at number 5 with a no decision. The Intercontinental Championship rankings, the champion is Bobby Lashley. Number 1 contender Corey. Number 2, Seth Rollins. Number 3, Dolph Ziggler. Number 4, Apollo Crews. Number 5, Mojo Rawley. Number 6, No Way Jose. Number 7, Jinder Mahal. Number 8, Dean Ambrose. Number 9, Tyler Breeze. Number 10, Zack Ryder. Number 11, Elias. Number 12, Titus O'Neil. Number 13, Kurt Hawkins. And finally, in the Universal title rankings, Dalton Roush defeated Baron Corbin. Roush remains champion. Corbin falls to number 4. So the Universal Champion is Dalton Roush. Number 1 contender, the recently returned John Cena, returned to action after he finished filming his latest movie, Bumblebee. He is the only superstar that is currently competing on both Raw and SmackDown. He is currently the number 1 contender to Dalton Roush's Universal title after Royal Rumble, because remember, Brock Lesnar gets the next opportunity. Number 2 is Drew McIntyre. Number 3, Finn Balor. And number 4, Baron Corbin. Now we move on to SmackDown Live. Will we see Gerald in action tomorrow night? And we will not. It's going to be yet another week off for Gerald. So we will see him. Or actually, I'm actually going to call it here, because almost every time that I see him SmackDown Live, ends up probably not being the best idea. I should probably wait and see if there's any title matches or number 1 contenders matches tomorrow, and then add them to the card tomorrow night off screen if I need to, and then sim. So I'm going to call it here. But our next stream will be Wednesday night at 11. It is our combined 205 Live and NXT stream. The first half will feature the WWE Cruiserweight Champion Andrew Spudstrong in action on 205 Live. And the second half will be our NXT portion, where NXT North American Champion AI Master will be in action. Wednesday nights are always a fun night. That will be our next stream. But that is going to do it for episode number 30. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single WITM stream or post. Check out the links in the description. The first is the WITM website, where you can find out how to become a WITM member for free and have your own custom character with custom entrance, moveset, promos, and storylines. Check out the WITM Twitter as well for all latest news announcements and updates. Once we have our official Royal Rumble card, that is where you can go to find out what the card for that pay-per-view will be. And until episode number 31, Wednesday night at 11 o'clock Eastern Time, for Andrew Spudstrong in action on 205 Live and AI Master in action on NXT. This is Corey with WITM Car Wrestling, signing off.